Okay. Well, we are live. Let's get
No
with it.
bells. Everybody
Not
got the
yet.
bells ready? Veronica, you got my favorite bell because that's the only one I can get.
We starting already. Let's get it.
I got you. Let's go.
Yo. Oh, so
Hello.
you just gonna start off with the bell?
Starting it
Okay.
off. Let's go. Let's go.
Whoa.
Let's see what kind of night this gonna be.
Let's go. That's your first bell tonight, bro. You said,
Oh,
yo,
you giving
bell.
it to me or you giving it V?
I'm giving it
both
to
of
you.
us?
I'm giving it to everybody tonight. Don't say you ain't hear that damn bell. Hey,
All
y'all.
right.
You get a bell too, baby.
He ain't being stingy, didn't I? All right, 15.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Welcome to Tangy Tea of Life, everyone. I am your host, Veronica, back with you on this Tuesday night. It's raining, but it is all good. What's going on, Cynthia? What's up, Rodney? Sly? What's up, baby? Hey, baby. Stevenson, hey, my brother. Welcome to Tangy Tea of Life. This is where we talk about any and everything. My brother Victor is back with us tonight.
Hey, I'm just looking forward to tomorrow, man. That's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to the Darlington County EMS coming to get me.
Don't say that. Do not say that.
I'm gonna try my best to keep up with all those fit, beautiful ladies that I see in them beautiful photos that you put up. So I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try, V. I'm gonna try.
You got it. It's gonna be so much fun. Hi, Nakia. 15 back with this WBLS radio station in New York. What's going on, 15?
Hey, I was gonna play hooky tonight, and when I told our host, I said I had to go to a baseball game with my cousin Trey Sean, but of course the rain got rained out down here, so that's that. And by Nakia coming on, I can't play hooky tomorrow because Nakia it slides over on Wednesday night to watch me on the WBLS podcast. So, but I support Veronica and what she's doing. I think this is a great event. And Victor will be okay, long as he's in the back. So if he needs to sit in that chair that he got, he can sit in that chair and
they gonna
work
put
from
me
the
up
chair.
Front. I'm telling you, them women be in the back. I think they be trying to look at my can because I've been doing a lot of squats lately, and that thing kind of round back there now,
like a peach, like a Georgia peach, like a Georgia peach.
Checking out that booty.
Yeah,
I will be doing a lot of bends tomorrow.
All right. A lot of bends. Yes, Tangy Tea of Life is being brought to you by Hip Hop Fitness with Veronica. And tomorrow is our big event, having a glow party. Want you all to come out and have some fun. We're going to be glowing in the dark while getting a good workout on. That's at 7 o'clock, B.A. Gary Gym in Darlington. Hope to see y'all faces. Hi, Tracy. Tracy, prayers to you and your family.
Yeah, condolences.
Yes, condolences. BB, oh my God, Victor, I know, right? You know, Victor always got to say something crazy. Hi, Derek. But yes, tomorrow, the big glow party is going down. Be Gary Gym, 7 o'clock. Come get fit with us. Hip Hop Fitness with Veronica. Hi, Lisa. Lisa.
Yeah.
Lisa rang that bell today.
That's what's up. Hey, Lisa, congratulations. So I want to let y'all know that's who I was wearing all that pink for. When I had the pink in the back, that was who that was for, you know. So I'm
Yeah.
glad Lisa rung the bell today. Yeah.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I
Congratulations.
saw that. Yep, at the cloud. There you go.
Yes. Nakia laughing at the cowbell.
Yep, they sure is. It's every time she rings, I think of Betsy the cow.
But you know what? Let me say this before we get started. I was so emotional today because a good friend of mine came in my inbox and left me just a great message, and it just made me feel so good. You know, when you're doing things and you know, you hoping people, well, you know, people notice the things that you do, but when someone come out and recognize you and say that they're proud of you and everything that you're doing, and it just made me feel so good. You know, because sometimes you don't even get that from your own people.
Yep.
You know, and coming from a friend that I've been knowing for a very long time, and it's a guy, and I just love him, love him, love him. I'm not gonna call any names, but he's on here tonight, and I told him I was gonna give him the cowbell.
I'm sorry.
It wasn't me.
For really
I didn't say nothing. I was clearing my throat.
It wasn't me.
making my
'Cause-
day, because that made my day. Like, I was kind of down today. I don't know what was going on, like my energy level for some reason, but
You know what's going on.
a personal trainer told me I need more carbs.
Yes, you
But
do.
I'm so grateful for that person for coming to me and saying that he's very proud of me and he got my back at whatever I do. And I'm just so grateful for him. Thank you so much. That meant so much to me. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You know what?
And
I
mhm.
tell you this, V. People people are more aware of what you're doing than you probably even know. And it's great that people are letting you know that they appreciate, your vision and what you're doing. And, sometimes you don't know the people that you touch or the people that,
Right.
are actually watching you. Cause I'm sitting here looking at that post you put up. You still got 1.7 million views from 7 weeks ago. So
Mm,
keep pushing, man. Keep pushing.
thank
Keep
you.
pushing.
That's it. And then when you
Appreciate that.
do, and let me just say this real
Thank
quick.
you.
When you do things from your heart, and especially when you do things genuinely and trying to make a difference, and it helps people, it gives you even a more satisfaction. No matter, you understand. And Victor, you put out something the other day about, about, do we do things for a pat on the back, or do we do things honestly from
Mhm.
sincerity? And when you do it from there, it just, can show the integrity of the person. So yeah, again, congratulations on that, because when people see those things, it's just more self-gratifying to see that you are doing things and moving in the right direction.
Thank you, Fatima.
Mhm.
Thank you so much. Y'all always have my back. Thank y'all. I appreciate it. What's up, Gail? Steve said, put the bell away. All right, Victor.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Hey, Nakia said, give me the bell. That's right. Oh, you froze for a second, Fatima?
No, 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 I thought I gave it.
Thank y'all. So, Victor, do you have a topic for us to kick it off with? And then we're going to get into the email letter.
I did. I do. And I wanted to say this. I wanted I really wanted to hit Fatim up and ask Fatim his opinion on this, but I got caught up discussing this topic with someone, so I didn't get a chance to hit Fatim up. So I want to talk about something. Is I don't want to know. I don't want to say it's kind of touchy, but it's like a two-part question. So to everybody that's listening, especially to the people on the panel, um, I want to talk about closure. So to y'all, what is your definition of closure when it comes to the end of a relationship? And how important is closure when it comes to ending a relationship?
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Like I said,
I
this is not something that I probably should have just threw you on the spot. This is probably something we maybe should have kind of.
no, it's good. You know, I like spontaneous.
You may like. I like spontaneous. It's just that so much stuff that we talk about kind of relates to me in real life. So that's why
Oh,
it gets. It's not
that's
that
what
it's
it's about.
tough, Yeah.
A lot of the topics that I come up with, except for a few, is real life things that I honestly think about or maybe going through at the time and maybe need some kind of clarity. But this right here is just something I was just kind of just thinking about when I was in the shower. Like, what exactly is closure? And is it that, I mean, how important is it when you're talking about ending a relationship?
Well,
Ladies first.
I feel that closure is really important because if you don't have closure, you can't move on with your life. So you have to have closure with that. We talk about ending a relationship, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Like so I do feel like if you leave that door open, I feel like feelings will still be there. And of course, you know, we may still have feelings for our exes, but how strong, how deep feelings are we talking about? Are we talking about feelings that can, you know, turn things around and wanting to go back? I feel like closure is important, but not, I'm not saying closure where you can't be cordial or friends with that person. I'm not saying make it a bad thing, bad beef, or whatever you want to call it between the two, but having closure in a good way for me is good because like my ex, like I can call my ex or talk to my ex, or if we see each other in the street, you know, it's good. Like we can speak and move on. It's not like, oh, his ex, or you know what I'm saying? Like I I like to end things in the right, in the proper way, if that makes sense. No, it doesn't make sense.
Well, I mean, if you say it does, I mean, we're not here to say you're wrong because if you say it's proper, then that's what it is, right?
Yeah, like I don't want to have harsh feelings towards anyone. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I have harsh feelings for any of my exes. I don't know. Fatine, what are your thoughts?
um all over the place, but I just think that closure comes in so many different ways. And the closure you're talking about is closure like amicable closure, where both people kind of agree that this is what it's going to be, and you go that way, and not that it doesn't happen that way. But a lot of times closure doesn't come the way where it's amicable. A lot of times breakups, there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of pain.
Mhm.
And if there's a lot of pain on both sides, of one side, and there's no real communication, because it's hard to talk to someone where one is angry, even if their anger is justified. That's why you give time and space. But if one person is still angry and is not really trying to say, okay, even though I'm angry, let's just come to this agreement to agree to disagree, but at least answer some questions. If you can't do that, then it's hard to communicate. So I look at closure. Honestly, I look at closure, I'll be honest, is it starts with yourself. You have to look at yourself and be honest with yourself, and look yourself in the mirror and see some of the things that you may have done wrong, what you could have done different, and move on, because you can't control the other person. You cannot control the other person when it comes down to sitting down and trying to answer questions, or kind of try to find out what brought us to this place or whatever, because a lot of said it's a lot of tension, a lot of anger. Sometimes you do remain friends with your ex, or you get to become cordial with your ex. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of times you become cordial with your ex, you don't really revisit. those tough times. You don't. You kind of go on the good times. You kind of walk around each other on eggshells and you go from there because it's in the past. So why rehash the past where you're moving forward and you're getting along, especially if there's children? So closure, I think it comes down to what's in your heart, but being honest. Because if something you did wrong and you can admit it to yourself, if you can admit it to that person and get closure from that person, that's fine. But I think you have to get closure from yourself first. And when you do that, I think that's when a person can move on.
So I feel
A lot of
kind of
great
like how
comments.
John is saying closure is too much like drama to a man. So my thing is, and I'm not trying to point out or just whatever, just push anybody's comments because we're getting a lot of comments out there.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is I agree with John, and this is the kind of the point I think I'm trying to make when it comes to that. When we break up, that's your closure. Our last conversation on how we end, you know what, the best situation or the best move that we can make is not to be together anymore. This is the time, or that conversation right there should be the time for the closure. If you're sitting here if I sit here and say, you know what, I can't do this no more, and you saying, well, you know what, I can't do this no more too, that's it. So I don't understand why there needs to be a conversation after that, because it's almost like you want to make sure that I'm serious, or I want to make sure that you're serious. But as two grown people, there's certain things that if you love somebody, you just don't say to your partner. There's just certain things. Like, I feel like if you're in a marriage, you should never say the word divorce, or I don't love you, or I don't respect you. There's just certain trigger words that you just don't say. So
Mhm.
if I'm sitting here telling you I don't want to be with you anymore, this is the time that you should be, in my opinion, you should be saying whatever it is you need to be saying, because I'm severing all ties as far as the relationship with you. So I feel like closure is for us to sit here and get the story straight to tell everybody else. That's what I feel what closure is.
But
That
does
that
everyone else really have to know?
Yeah, because
well, I mean, people will know, V, because if you're in a relationship or continue in a relationship, people see y'all together, then they no longer see y'all together, and then you're out with somebody else, and like, well, what happened to so and so? Oh, well, we just mutually separated, and these are the reasons. So it's like, to me, closure is like, okay, this is our PR statement to let everybody know we ain't together no more.
Yeah. And I mean, Patricia says, Veronica, I'm the same way. I don't want to end things being bitter. I mean, and that's the thing. I'm not saying as soon as we, break up or whatever, we have to have, we giggling and laughing and, all of that stuff. But I'm saying like later on down the road, I want to be able to see you in the street and be able to say hi. Or, I don't want to be in the street and be like, oh, and look the other way because I don't want to speak to you. I don't want that kind of problems or whatever. I don't want it to be that way. So I mean, when I say closure, I want it to be closure, but I don't want it to be in a bad, negative way.
but you don't have control over it. That's the
But I don't
problem.
have control.
Yeah.
Right.
So, like I said, if the other person is angry or whatever,
Yeah.
because it's not. It's just, even though Victor, you just said that you agree to break up. Sometimes it's just not so straightforward. One person is just tired, and and if you can't meet on, if things are just going on and it's not getting better, then one person or both agree that, look, this ain't gonna work, or one person just walks away, the other person could still be mad and angry. And I'm not saying the other person isn't angry neither, but it's just not healthy when that relationship becomes toxic. When that is toxic, I do understand what you said is closure. I don't even think it's closure if that's the relationship is toxic, Victor. Even though when you decide to go that separate way, to me, I don't think it's closure, because there's just so many things that is open and loose, especially if there's children involved, grown or young. So I think it takes time to heal. Closure helps healing. I think getting closure to something helps you with that healing process. So I think, my opinion, not to say you're wrong, Victor, but just my opinion, is closure is when you can look back learn from that, and be able to move forward, and not have all that animosity, anger, and tension. That's,
Yeah.
to me, is closure.
Because I
I
mean
agree with you,
that's
Emily. I agree with you. I agree with you, Emily. What about you, Fatine?
I don't need validation. I don't need closure. I have accountability. I think that I think that we we all we can be accountable, but I think sometimes, again, you can be right, but I hate to say this, majority of the times we all ain't right. And I'm not going to sit here and say, when I hear what Emily said, I don't need validation, I don't need closure, I have accountability. But if you look at it from that point of view, I'm not saying that it doesn't come out where you may be the right person, but a lot of times, you looking at it from your perspective, you talk about that, Victor, we look at it from our perspective. I didn't do anything wrong, this, that, and other. But two people in a relationship, and people have points of views, and if you can't listen to the other person's point of view, then I think sometimes you become selfish.
Derek says, I just ended a relationship and we both needed that closure to have a peace of mind.
Wow.
Yep, and that's it. That's
Wow.
it. That's it. But yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you this. What Cheryl is saying is what I do. I don't want harsh feelings either, but when it's done, it is what it is. I have a whole funeral in my mind for you, and I honestly I do that. Cheryl, I know exactly what you're talking about. I feel what you're saying. I have an entire funeral, like not really a procession and all that, but it's dead. Now, I'm not saying you're dead to me, but this whole shit is dead. I go through that whole grieving process. It's a whole funeral, bro. Like it is what it is
I
after
mean,
that.
I get the grieving part, but the funeral thing is that's
Well,
kind of harsh, ain't it?
but see, well, you. I'm not looking at it as like don't don't look at it like the whole funeral thing. But when I say funeral, it's more or less like I'm looking at pictures. I'm thinking about past memories and knowing this will never happen again.
Mm.
That's just like you sitting here and you going to a funeral, and in your mind while you're looking at this person, you think about all the good times you had, you think about all the bad, just all the times that you had. And you're sitting here thinking, hey, this will never happen again. Never happen again. So that's my definition of having closure. I mean, not having closure, but having a funeral.
Could I just want to add to that funeral, because it's interesting. I just spoke about that today, and about the emotional part, and about the crying part, because folks that have been here, and Victor, you mentioned it, after time, that's why I said closure comes to me, it comes in time, because then you can look back, and sometimes you come to a point in a relationship that you're not on the same page, or it's just not working, but that don't mean that the relationship had more good times than bad times. And when you talk about mourning, and I just was talking to somebody about that good cry, that cry like when you lose a loved one, that you know what I'm saying, that kind of cry. Once you get that cry out, that's that thing that lifts off you and say, I'm taking it to the next level.
I'm done.
Yeah, it's like I'm done, but it's like, okay, I've really got this off of me, because I'll be honest with you, I still got love in my heart for that person. I may not be in love, but I still got love. And that person made a difference in my life. And I'm not going to sit here and play games and say that that person didn't mean anything to me. So I look at the value. I look at especially being in a long-term relationship. I just looked at it having more good than bad. And I can reflect back at that. And when you get that off, you just take it to the next level. And you pray that you can be friends or cordial with one another, and that energy and that negative energy and that animosity dissipates, because it's not healthy for no one. And I think that anybody that holds on to that anger, it's hard to move on, because there's always going to be triggers.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Patricia. You correct. It is a release. It's a release. And anybody knows that when you fight that, when you get that lump in that throat and you fight that, and you know when that finally comes, it's like you said, a relief.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So how about Emily? Emily says most people want to know what they did wrong or how they can have it fixed. I leave it by the law of if you leave me, it's your loss. I don't need you. Your reason of why I'm not right for you.
Well, wait,
She
most
can't
people
get a
want to
bell.
know
She can't. I mean,
what they
No,
did.
because I don't agree with
Because some,
that.
yeah, because
I don't agree with all that.
some
I don't.
people don't, some people don't want to know what they did wrong.
Yeah, put that up back
Wait,
there,
put that
please.
back up.
Yeah,
okay, I'm
please.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Or how could they have fixed it? I feel like that's for maybe the first time or maybe the second time. But when things happen 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 times, you don't care about that.
Mhm.
How could they have fixed it? I mean, there's no fixing it after that because that person is going to continue doing what they're doing. You know. Um.
See, that's why I said this, Emily. It's not. See, your conversation, and and Emily, and I like a lot of things that Sister Emily says. This is more like a conversation. So I understand what you're saying. I just have a problem saying that to a person that leaves me. Oh, it's your loss because we're putting ourselves on a pedestal. And I keep saying, because someone leaves you, don't mean it's their loss because they can leave you and get something better. It's not always their loss. So I'm
Mm,
just saying, I understand what you're
mm,
saying. So I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that I just have a hard time. I think that's kind of egotistical because when you say to me, that's just making sure that you don't let yourself get dragged down. But a person can leave you for whatever reason. They may not like the way you eat food or something. It could be something to you very minor,
right.
but it's something that turns another person off. And when you say that it's their loss, it may not be. It's just that they may not feel that they're in love with you or that you're compatible.
But we feel like it's their loss.
That's
you
right. And that's why I
Exactly.
have a problem with us saying that because you can't just lasso somebody and say that when they walk away from you.
But can she just get a bell? Though?
Emily gets a bell.
There
That's my
you go.
sister now.
So
I like that's my sister now.
I want to say this. So Tanya, not to jump on her, but I just want to ask. I want to expand on her on what she said. She says if you don't get closure, then you may fall into that same pattern a second time around.
Mhm.
So
And I kind
with
of
that,
said something.
ma'am,
No, go ahead, Victor. Go ahead.
I want to know, but do I really want to see you upgrade after me? So am I really trying to make your next relationship that much better? So why would I sit here and honestly tell you why we didn't work and how you can expound or improve on your next relationship?
Oh,
Like
that ain't our job to do that. I agree with you.
exactly. So
That ain't our job to do that.
so when she's saying if you don't get closure, then you might fall into the same pattern a second time. That's how I'm looking at what she said. Like I don't care if you fall into it the second time, but I'm not gonna sit here and pep you up to upgrade to whatever it is you're gonna upgrade to or whatever it is you do. My whole thing is why we didn't work. I'm not sitting here
But
giving you pointers on your damn next relationship. That ain't my issue.
when she's saying the same pattern a second time, is she talking about back with that same person?
No. I think that what she's trying to say is that when you look at something, when you look at your past relationship, and you look at the ups, the downs, the good, the bad, and you get closure with it and understand it, then you understand some of the pitfalls you may have fell into, whatever they may have been, and by that, that helps you with your next relationship of not falling into those same pitfalls. That's how I look at what she's saying.
So what
Mm.
do you think about that? Can she get a bell for that one?
I mean,
Oh wait, I didn't read that yet.
if it happened the first time, why would you think it wouldn't happen the second time? It's called red flags. Y'all stay too long, period. Well, and the universe will give you better. Oh, that is true.
Mhm.
But I am a witness. I did stay longer than I should have, not getting in my personal, but I'm just saying a lot of women. And Emily, if you haven't been in that situation, kudos to you. because a lot of us go through things and we go through it more than once. And we stay there hoping that things will get better, hoping that things will work out, hoping that was just that one mistake that happened and that mistake won't happen again, hoping we can change that person mindset or whatever we did at that time to make them step out. There's a lot of hope that goes on in relationships, in marriages. So I
Right.
mean, it's simple to say, why would you think it wouldn't happen the second time? It's called a red flag. It's called love and wanting to make things work
Right.
and hoping and praying for things to work.
Mhm.
So it's not just that easy. Just when something happened at one time, you out.
Right.
No.
Let me just say this, Veron. I gave you a bell for that. Before you read this comment, I'm gonna make some people mad now, and I'm
Ah,
sorry. I'm sorry.
so let me take this
So
out
if
before you do that.
yeah, so Emily just said the universe will bring you better. I'm not saying you don't, but let's talk about it. And look, I didn't come up with this topic. I didn't even think about it going in, but Sister Emily said the universe will bring you better. Let's talk about this with the baby mamas now.
Dig in, bro.
Let's talk about this. Let's go.
I
Go.
got the
Here we
bell.
go. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, yeah, damn it. So the universe will bring you better, but when you got 4 and 5 different baby daddies, why do you got? I'm not talking about if something happened tragically. You got 4 or 5 different baby daddies, and none work. Never your problem. All no good. But the universe gonna bring you better. That's the problem I got, Emily, with that statement. Now, don't get me going on that one, because damn it, I all
Keep
right.
going. Dig in, man.
I said the point. I said what I had to say. If the universe gonna bring you better, why does it take 4 and 5 different baby daddies? Don't. All right. All right.
Well, this is
Fatigue.
her.
You're doing too much, man.
I didn't put the universe gonna bring you better. All right.
Well, here's her response. I'm not even gonna touch that.
I know I'm
Em-
gonna get under somebody's skin, but I don't. This is not personal, y'all. But
oh,
it's just to the comment. Yo, if the universe is gonna bring you better, then why is it not the second time around that is better or the third time? But 4 and 5, and still not with one of them.
wait, you know what? Let me say this. You
Okay.
know, it's crazy that Victor have these topics at the beginning before we get into the letter, but I promise you, this letter has everything to do with this topic.
Oh no! Why does this happen to us?
I'm telling you, I don't.
Let me
Just
take me a
just wait,
swig.
Emily. Wait until we get into this letter.
Fatigue. Read that comment. That's your girl.
Same thing for the guys with 8 kids and six baby mamas. Again, I didn't make the statement. About the again. Remember again, and Nakia, you're right. It can go for
Yep.
that. But let's if we honestly we won't get to the letter. If we really have this discussion, I agree that it's about choices, and it's about choices on both sides. But let's be real. We may pick, but you got to decide. You are the decision maker. We can go out there and hunt, but when we come to the table, and when you get burnt once, twice, third time, something's wrong. Either you got to look at your choices. You got to look at your choices. And then for us men to be irresponsible to make babies laying around with different women, of course that's wrong. But again, I'm talking about what the statement was said. This is the statement was said that the universe will bring you better, and that's where I went. So I said what I had to say.
You see that, Fatigue?
See, y'all got to put me on the mic for this. That's why I said, Emily, that's why I said your statements are more for a conversation. Emily does her own lives, and she gets down and heavy on that. That's why I said,
Emily
Emily, it's a
does.
conversation.
Emily has podcasts.
Well, she does a live, and she does Facebook Live.
Oh, okay.
So I do agree, Emily, that it's this kind of conversation is more of a back and forth kind of conversation. But I didn't want to go there because I didn't have that on my mind until you put that out there. Because there got to be some accountability. You talk about accountability. Accountability goes with both people, but accountability comes down to, at the end of the day, that you got to look out for yourself.
That's That's 90% true, Britt. But that's only if y'all break up on bad terms. What is closure if it just wasn't the right time? I mean, I feel like to really know when a relationship is over, and I say this over and over again, you know, no one has to tell you, no one has to give you any signs. You know when it's over. It's something about that closure of knowing when it's over. You get this feeling like you don't care anymore. You don't cry anymore. You didn't cry your last tears. Like, you know when it's over. I mean, that's just me personally. Um, there's a lot of comments coming through. I mean, we can jump
Oh,
on the
I
letter
told
if
you
you
I was
want
gonna
me
hit
to,
a
but
nerve.
like I said, it's definitely surrounding this. Noah, I think
so
Noah is commenting on someone behind someone.
yeah, so the kid said, well, let me put her comment up. She was saying the same thing about the eight, what Fatine was commenting on, and Fatine was talking about that. So then Noah says the kilogram haul, but that same guy will find one woman and settle down with.
Well, that's true. John said that ain't closure. Y'all just done being stupid. Well, I mean, John, if you want to call it stupid, I don't call it stupid because, like I said, I've been through that. I've went through that where I stayed for quite some time, knowing the situation. Um, I don't call it stupid. I call it in love and just wanting things to work out. Period. Seeing that my parents been married for so many years and 54 years my parents been married, and just hoping and wishing and wanting that same thing in my life. I don't call it stupid. I just call it trying to make things work.
And a
So I
lot of
mean,
us,
it is
okay,
what it is.
yeah. I didn't want me to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I agree with you, Veronica, but it's the same way you talked about, and we talked about your parents from the perspective of the length of time, them being together and being that rock and the example for you and your siblings and other people that have come in contact with them. Now you just got me on the soapbox. There's a lot of dysfunctional damn families out here that stay
Yeah,
together in freaking relationships. And
yeah.
then we grow up as kids and we watch that damn dysfunction. Then when we get grown, then we argue and we curse and we do this and do that and think that that your husband or wife is going to tolerate that. But when one walks out, it's like, oh, well, you didn't give me a chance or you didn't forgive me. But you got to realize you push that person out the door, because a lot of times we come up in dysfunctional relationships or see them.
Mm-hmm.
We see them and then we pattern ourselves after them, and we think that we're going to continue that cycle. Everybody doesn't go down that damn road.
That's
That's
true,
true.
bro. Hey,
Yeah.
check what Derek says. Nobody wants to wait on God to bring them better. That's why we go through different odd relationships. But I promise you this time, I will wait on God to bring me my heart desires.
And
That's
Derek, you
No,
good.
man,
may,
we not getting up, man. Come on. I got to buy you some shit. You know what?
because I don't,
You know what,
because I
Derek?
say that,
I'm gonna give
because
you
I
the
say
last
that to
call.
women. I say that to women. I'm gonna say it to men. Derek, you're gonna be waiting a long time.
That is good. That
Huh?
is good.
What I'm saying is that you can sit here and say God gave us a choice between to choose between this and that. You sit here and say, again, I know Veronica might get upset with me, but I'm not saying that if you don't pray for something, something comes to you at the end of the day. But sometimes you in the Bible, things that God worked with people. God worked with Noah. Noah was a drunk. God worked with people that did different things. And a lot of times, if we are saying we waiting on God to bring us something, then we will possibly bypass, because God has worked with things that didn't look good to the world, but God used them as a tool. So I don't get back there. I pray for it, but I have to make choices. And God has given me a mind, a sane mind to make choices. then that, and I pray on it. But I'm not gonna sit back and here and say, well, I'm gonna wait for God to bring me something. That's why I don't give a bell, because I don't believe in that.
Thank you,
Right
Veronica.
there.
Thank you, Veronica. You gave him a bell, bro. I'm gonna tell you something. If you ask your father for something, he will bring it to you. Now, I've always said this: when we ask for something, we have to be specific about what we ask for.
Right.
Because if you ask God to bring you a man, that's exactly what he gonna do. He gonna give you a man. If you ask for God to bring me a woman with God, I want her to be so attractive, I want a pretty woman, he gonna bring you a pretty woman. Now she might be, y'all might not be compatible, but he's going to give you exactly what you asked for.
Can I say this here? So
true.
if you see this live, Cardi B went on live yesterday. She went to the Met Gala in New York. It was a big function. And she put a live out today. She said that she prayed for fame and to be rich. And then she came out and she said, I feel that God cursed me with fame. She said, y'all got to be careful for what you ask for, because what you ask for, like Victor said, to be specific, but you got to realize that in the end of the day, sometimes we're looking for the perfect thing, and the perfect thing is not what we just don't know what the other side may be at the end of the day. I think that we ask God to judge us. I mean, not judge us. We ask God for us, our decisions to be in the righteous way, to pray for them at the end of the day. But I just don't sit there. And I hear what you're saying. And I'm not saying I don't pray for certain things, but I know that God gave us choice between this and that and will to make choices. And I think that when we make bad choices, we have to go out there, learn from them, and make better choices.
Yeah.
That's for Derek, not you, Fatine. But I do like what you said, Fatine. But that is so true. Derek is really hitting it tonight. Yes.
What did Derek say? Because I did say something to him.
Oh, I'm sorry. There you go, Fatine.
We go through what we go through because of the choices and decisions that we make. Yeah, that's called karma, Derek. It's called karma, babe. It's called karma. That's Nikia gets a bell on that one.
Boy, you being stick. You know what, Fatine? Let me click.
I guess you got to work for this damn bell now, boy. You have to.
When you ask God for something, you must also ask him to prepare us for what it is that we ask him for.
That is facts. So she can't get a bell.
I got to come around to the bell, bro. Yeah, but I agree with that, Keisha. But I agree with what Keisha said. But you got to prepare, and if we can't be honest with ourselves, that's why I said I have a little issue. When we keep saying, it's somebody else's loss, where maybe we need to look in the mirror and say, okay, I know what I bring to the table, but maybe I can improve on this and that. Because if you don't never listen to the other person talk or whatever and think that you're always right, then that's a problem. That's a problem. I'm sorry. That's all to it. If they're always wrong and you always right, then that's part of the problem right off the bat.
Well, my heart and mind is clear after that.
All right. Well, y'all ready for the letter?
Wait.
You got lights on.
Oh, let's see what Lisa said.
Preach for team. Hey, Britt.
I waited on God and prayed. Always be specific in what you want. You're not going to get closure every time. That's why you have to heal yourself and not look for that. True.
Got a bell on that. Yep, that's it. That's.
No, Mike, he thought that was the letter.
Mike says so. Oh boy.
There are times we don't get the desires of our heart because God knows he can't trust us with certain blessings. Facts. We sometimes lack maturity to handle it. John, you are on one tonight.
So,
John, not all his comments, but I give him that.
Yeah. but there's more can come out of that. But let's don't go down that road right now, John. That creates a that creates a sub conversation out of that. But let's go to the letter.
Noah, something wrong with him.
I pray that I stop lasting 2 minutes because I know I can do better. Good one, Noah. We
Maybe
pray.
you can, hey,
Wait. Noah, follow Victor. Pray what you need and see if get back to us in about 2 months, Noah. And you
bro.
pray for it, and that 2 minute don't work. Come see Victor
But
because
you know
Victor
what?
got the direct line to God.
But you know what? This is the thing. They might can't handle the 2 minutes. You might be giving only what they can handle. So that 2 minutes might be their max. Huh? Hey. So don't hate on your 2 minutes.
Yeah, you're gonna get the
They might
women.
can't take what you doggone dishing, bro.
The women ain't gonna give you a bell. They're gonna throw the bell at you on that, boy.
Yep, exactly, Stevenson. All right, so let's get into this letter. Let me pull it up.
Pull it up. Let me cleanse off everything.
I'll drink to that.
All right, so here it is, and this is a serious letter. Right?
Okay, we need to get on some serious topics.
It says, I've been hurting inside for quite some time now, but I love him and believe in my vows. My husband of 11 years stepped out a few times and ended up having 3 outside children. I forgave him each time, and I accepted all the kids. I do feel the pain sometimes when the kids come over and I look at them, and sometimes I go in the other room and cry. The pain is unbearable at times, but I pray and move on to the next day. I know you're probably wondering why I put myself in this situation 3 times. Well, it's simple. When you love someone, you will put up with things you told yourself you would never put up with. I've heard most of I've heard most, if not all of you, said you've been cheated on before. My question to the panel is, how did you cope with it? It's very hard for me, but I know I have to stay in my marriage. I took the vows for better or worse, and most importantly, even though the pain and the ups and downs, I love my husband. Thanks for your show and having these real conversations. Oh my gosh, look at your faces.
I'm ready. Go. Let's go, Veronica.
I'm not gonna sit here and I'm not gonna judge. I'm not gonna do it because everyone looks at their marriage and their relationships differently. I get it. She took her vows. She loved her husband. She want to stay in her marriage, and that's totally up to her. We can't tell you to leave. We can't tell you to stay. That is totally up to you. I know you're hurting because it's not one baby. It's not 2 babies. He had 3 babies outside of his marriage. He has no respect for you. None. I'm not going to say that he doesn't love you, but he do not have any respect for you. For one, you stepping out. You're not wrapping it up. Clearly, you having these outside kids. And I haven't been through it, but I know that it has to be painful to you, especially when the kids come over. And of course, these kids are innocent. They had nothing to do with this. They wasn't asked to be brought into this world. But when are we as adults are going to step up and take responsibilities of our actions? One time, okay, I get it. You messed up. You had this child. Can't take it back. But when you're talking about 2 and 3 babies, I got a problem with that. 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 I get more into it, But this right here just does something to me. When I read the letter, I was like, OMG. Victor?
So I was going to allude to what Cheryl is saying. I hope all three kids are by the same woman, but that's not what she asked. She asked is she said we've all been cheated on, and how did we cope?
Oh, I forgot to answer that part. But yeah, go
So
ahead.
go ahead, please answer that.
It was very painful. And I feel like anybody that has been cheated on know how painful that feeling is. I wish that on no one. Um, how I dealt with it, a lot of praying. Um, and it seems like you get closer to God when God takes us through things. And not saying that I'm not close to God. I'm not saying that. And I don't want to make this, biblical or anything, but I'm just saying you get really close in your faith and turn to God when you're going through really tough times. So my thing to her, you need to really pray. You need to, and not saying that's not what you're doing, but you need to pray and ask God to guide you, lead you in the right direction. I know you want this marriage. They speak of marriage in the Bible, and not divorce, if I'm saying that right. But God don't want us to be dummies either. You know, um, He wants us to live our life happy, smiling, and joyful, and not have to worry about things like this that's going to hurt our hearts. And if we continue to put ourselves in that situation for our hearts to be broken, and we crying and can't sleep at night, we can't eat, we can't go to work, we can't do this, we can't do that, we are allowing ourselves to go through these heartaches and pains when we shouldn't. So I just say you got to pray, do a lot of praying, and ask God to guide you to where you need to go. Victor?
So to answer her question, how do you cope? Ma'am, I'm not equipped to answer that question because when the person I was with cheated on me, there was not anything physical that I can see to remind me every time they cheated on me. This is something I had to conjure up in my mind to remind myself that the person I was with cheated on me. You gonna have a reminder. You have three reminders all the time that's living, breathing, running that are innocent to remind you how unfaithful your husband is. So
Mm.
I don't I don't know how I cannot answer that question. Um because I've never been in that situation. I can't even imagine what you feel. So for me to sit here and really, really dissect the letter, you know exactly what you should do. I feel like you understand the situation that you're in, and everybody around you. You've heard it. You've heard enough. I'm not here to beat you up because you're going through something that I don't ever want to go through, nor do I want my kids to go through what you're going through.
Right.
So, um, I hope you find some peace at some point in time in your life that you can accept every decision that you made and you can just be at peace with it. And I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Wow. Lot has been said. Y'all both said a mouthful. Um, First of all, young lady, thank you for the compliment for the show. Thanks for reaching out to us.
Oh
So
yeah.
the first thing I'll say to you, young lady, and this is no attack, but I'm just gonna talk to you just straight up from my heart, is that you said that you're feeling the pain, and like Victor said, we may can't empathize with the type of pain you're going through with your husband, with three children coming from outside your marriage, and but you say you love him and you take your vows seriously. So we pray that, like Victor says, that you get some type of strength there. Now, let's separate the emotional part from the point of common sense. And this is no attack, sister. You said you take your vows seriously. You didn't marry yourself. You married your husband. And if he's not taking his vows serious, for him to go out there 3 times, Veronica said 1 time, okay. Twice, 3 times. If I said to Sister Emily what I said, I'm sitting here to say to you, sister, wake up. I know you take your vows seriously, but if you read the Bible and you was teaching your children, and if somebody was doing something wrong in the Bible, you teach your children that that's not wrong, and God moved away from them. And if God can move away from people that are doing wrong, then damn it, you can do the same thing too. All right?
And you, I didn't mean to cut you off,
Nah,
Fatima.
that's what the only thing I'm going to say. It's not easy. It's not easy for you to do that, and I'm respecting what you said, but that because you take your vows seriously, if your person you marry continues to walk all over you and continues to cause you pain, what do you have? You don't have a marriage. To me, I'll be honest, sister, and I know you're going to go through the emotional part, and that's why when I say what I say, I don't know you, but if you was my sister, my cousin, or someone I knew, when I tell you this, and if you cried, I would give you a hug just to say, it's okay. We got you, because this is not easy. But it's time for your heart to not get trampled on, and you have to make a choice. God gave us a choice to make. God gave us will to make a choice. And if he's going to continue to trample on your heart and your emotions, you have no relationship. You're just in a marriage on verbal words and not substance. And if it's not substance, then girl, you got to get out of that. That's
Well,
what I got to say.
and I had this conversation with my cousin earlier today. We was just talking about life, and I feel like a lot of times, and this could be this young lady situation. A lot of times we let people who love us talk us into things, into staying in marriages, into staying in relationships that we know we should be getting out of and trying to leave. But we have people that love us, parents, siblings, cousins, girl, I wouldn't leave. I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't do that. God don't speak of divorce. God hate divorce, blah, 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 blah. A lot of times we listen at people who we love that gives us the wrong advice. And that's a lot of times we got to stop, and we have to live life for us and not for other folks that are around us and folks that love us. We got to stop listening to other folks and do what we know and feel deep down inside that we need to do. You need to get out, get out.
Yeah. And most
Don't
of the
worry about
time,
what mom and daddy saying. I've been down that road. I know how that feels to try to listen and try to what's the word? Try to make others happy by staying in something you're not happy in.
yeah.
And I hope that's not her situation. I hope that she's not staying in this marriage. She says she's staying in it because she loves him. She took her vows and all of that. But I hope that is the real reason why she's staying in it, and not because she's worried about what other folks are going to say.
Right. I just want to say this real quick. I'm not going to be long on this. Veronica, as you were speaking, Victor was putting these comments up. Sister, I haven't seen this in a long time. People on this show are embracing you right now. Remember, I talk about if I know you and be able to give you that hug and say, we got you. That's what people are saying to you tonight. Again, you have to do what's good for you, but you are asking for some kind of guidance. And people on this is like a group hug for you, sister. They're not downing you. We're not downing you. But what we are saying is you need strength, but you got to open your eyes, sister. You got to open your eyes.
So Thomas,
that part right there.
It's easy for people to say what they would do or wouldn't do when they are not in the situation. Thank you. Hey, Thomas, you get some.
But we know that. That's why I mean that's true. But Thomas, that's true. And you're right. But when somebody's reaching out for assistance, our response is to give you that advice. I just said, what did I say last week when we opened up the show? We are able to give other people good advice, but we have a hard time giving ourselves good advice. Didn't we talk about that last week?
We did. We did. We
Yes.
did.
So I agree with brother what he's saying. But at the end of the day, sometimes we still have to give the best advice that we can give to a person when they're reaching out, even though we know that it's not always, like I said, we're not in those shoes, but she asks if we've been cheated on. She's asking other people that may have been in a similar situation, how did they cope? She asked this question legitimately tonight. How did we cope? Because she is having problems coping.
Well, Mr. Sammy says, and she loves her husband more than she loves herself. That's true.
Or she fears a certain situation more than something
But
else.
but a lot of times we do go down that road.
Yeah, that is true. But sometimes it's not love. It's convenience. He's the breadwinner. He's this, that. If I leave, what can I do? How I'm going to do this? That's where prayer. That's where prayer and belief comes in, and faith.
Right. Man, I don't know if that's so much her case, because the way it sounds is that she really loved this man. But I mean, it clearly, well, I can't say clearly, but I'm thinking it has something else maybe to do, because a lot of times we get so comfortable where we're at, we're just afraid to step out. You know,
The reason why I had
a lot of people are afraid to move on. A lot of people are afraid to get in new relationships and find someone new, starting a whole new life over again, especially when you've been with someone for so long. It could be scary.
I knew somebody, I was very young, like 2021. And I asked somebody, like she describing this, I knew the man that did what she's talking about. And I asked the brother one time, I said, yo, what did your wife got to say about this? And his response was wow. But I listened, I asked the question, he answered. He said, my wife don't control where I stick my so-and-so. And these are my children. I'm always going to be a father to my children. And my children are going to know one another. If I want to bring them in that under the roof that I pay the mortgage for, I will do that. If she don't like it, she can leave. I'm 21. I listened to what he said. But I never got the part. Now, from what I've known, they still together. So whatever their situation was, they work through it however they choose to. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So
I want to make 2 points. The first point is, I looked up the definition of cope. Cope means you deal with something. That doesn't mean you accept it. So, ma'am, you don't have to accept what you're going through. All right. You may have to deal with it, but you don't have to accept it. The second thing is what Nakia said. I bet if the tables would turn, his ass would leave her. You rarely hear about accepting situations like this.
We can't deal with that. Us men can't deal with that.
Wait a minute. How many guys are taking care of kids that ain't theirs, and the woman knows that it ain't theirs, but that man still takes care of that child? Because I'm going to tell you something. It is real easy for a woman to get pregnant by another man and put that off on this guy over here, and that man to take care of that baby forever and ever and ever and ever. And that all it would take is for that woman to hold that secret.
But Victor, but what she's saying is, but that's not what she's saying. What she's saying is, if the shoe was on the other foot and a woman, our wife, went out and had 3 babies on us, we would not take that, and we wouldn't tolerate. We would be out, and she is right. We would not tolerate that. No, we wouldn't. It's different.
A lot of guys would tolerate that if everybody else didn't know that wasn't your child. It is real easy for you to accept some shit that if everybody didn't know. That's all I'm saying. Bro.
No,
So
no. You a woman is going out there laying with three different men and having babies, pushing out a baby by a different man, and you standing there?
well, what I'm saying is how you spin that narrative. All I'm saying is I feel like a guy can accept
Mm-mm,
or deal with
mm-mm,
his woman having a child on him if everybody else don't know that ain't his child. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm just
mm-hmm.
saying I feel like if everybody else thinks that's your child, it's easier to conceal if a woman has a baby versus a man have a baby with another woman and then
I hear
it
what you're
is what it
saying, but
is.
I'm just talking about the emotional part. Men don't deal well with that, bro.
Oh no,
They
no,
don't.
no,
They
no.
don't
I
deal
agree. I
well with
agree with
that.
you. I
They
agree
don't
with
deal
that.
well with that. They just
I
don't. They think it's tampered goods. That woman has been tampered goods. Men can't really get by that. They just
Right there.
can't.
What Stevenson said.
Hell, we as men would leave her for the first child. We wouldn't stay with that bull. That's not.
but this is
We're
the
not
thing.
wired like that.
How would you? And I know we throw. I don't want to throw in these damn variables, but how would you know unless you had a vasectomy? You wouldn't question your wife if she got pregnant,
No,
bro.
but look at it like this, Victor. Let's say you know she stepped
Okay,
out on you and she was pregnant. She told you it's not your child. Would you stay?
no,
Hell no. We ain't
you
staying.
no. I agree with you, but I'm saying if I really, 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 I guess I don't like throwing in a bunch of variables, but I think for a man, if the woman is pregnant and we can keep that between us, I feel like it's almost to the point that I can deal with that better than you telling them. That's just how I feel. So let me say this. So if I'm in a relationship with a woman and she have an outside baby with somebody else, but nobody else knows she's pregnant by somebody else, but she has the baby don't kind of look like me. If I never have a DNA test, but in the back of my mind, I know that this ain't my child because the shit ain't adding up. And everybody thinks it's my child. I think I can deal with that a little better
Knowing that
than,
somebody splattered in her and made her pregnant. You
oh my God, somebody splattered in her before I got with her. So, I
that's
mean,
That's
it is
different.
what it
That's
is.
different. We know a lot of times we know we ain't getting that. We dealing with virgins, so we
yeah.
know that. But
But I'm
Victor,
saying
I know what the.
knowingly.
Go ahead, Veronica.
No, I was just saying knowingly, Victor.
Knowingly, yeah, Veronica, you're
Mm-mm,
right. Like
mm-mm.
knowingly, I agree with you. Men can't take shit like that. But all I'm
Yeah.
saying is, I feel like we can take it better if everybody else doesn't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, it happened to my father, and my father stayed with his ex wife. This is before me, and when the baby was born, my father knew right away and he left. And I told y'all that when my father had to go pick up his two children from his former wife and bring those kids back, my father would not bring that baby. But my mother, who had nothing to do with those children, said, by you taking those two children out there, that other child knows something is not right. And even though you're not being a father, you're bringing them over here, bring them together as a unit. And my father listened. He listened and he did that because, like you said, Veronica and Victor, the child did not ask to be here. And I've used this analogy, and that child helped preach my father's funeral.
Mm.
So, but I don't think my father would have been able to deal with it by staying and deal with that child. He left, but that child knew his father, but my father was a stepfather and they had a great bond. And that was it. But my father couldn't stay and I wouldn't stay. Men are just wired differently. And I give women, I'm not saying women are right. Y'all women, and Veronica, you can throw this in there. Women tend to deal with that kind of pain. I think women deal with pain better than us men.
Oh, clearly.
Yeah, clearly. So y'all women forgiving us and us men forgiving y'all and not forgetting, it's just hard for us men to really move on because as soon as one incident come up, we're gonna wonder if you're gonna do it again, this, that, and the other. We're just not wired like that. We're just
Yeah.
not. We're just not.
And you know what? It is a pain that is so horrible. when you get cheated on and you know it. I can't imagine, him stepping out and then a baby is involved. That is,
Yeah. Oh, Veronica, I don't mean to make nobody mad on this. I don't mean to make women mad on this, but and y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Because of society, not the norms of society, but how we live as human beings, more women tend to deal with this. To it looks like it has become a norm. You follow what I'm saying?
mhm,
More women have dealt with this, men stepping out, husband, boyfriend, accepting them back, dealing with this, dealing with another child, whatever, till it becomes some pattern of a norm. So when we men talk about it, sometimes we are detached from that kind of pain that you women speak of, because a lot of you women still deal with that.
yeah.
So it becomes like a norm, even though it may not be normal. It becomes like a norm because of the behavior. You got to
Mhm.
realize society behavior also dictates how we feel and how we look at things. Perception is the mother.
But, I just feel like if we respect ourselves, and I'm speaking for the women, if we respect ourselves more as women, there will be less of this going on.
Right.
Because a man can't cheat unless we allow them to cheat. And I say this again and again. A man cannot cheat unless we cheat with them. So, we can't, we can and we want to and we do put the fault on you men all the time.
Mhm.
But we have to look at ourselves as well. I'm quite sure these women or this woman, how many baby mothers he have, does he have 3 kids? If I'm quite sure they knew this man was married, they still slept with him. You know, um, we have to stop this madness, and I know it's not going to stop, but I'm just saying, like,
Mhm.
it's crazy. Now you have 3 kids on your wife, and I just can't imagine
I
the
don't give a
pain
damn
that
if
it
it's with
went
one
through.
woman or 3 different women. And I think it was Sammy saying, was it Mr. Sammy or Sam, saying about the 3 kids. I'm not justifying it. I'm just telling you what the society, how it looks at it. Yeah, brother Sammy. Yeah, I'm not justifying it. I'm just telling you, bro, that more women tend to deal with that circumstance at the end of the day than men. So I'm just telling you, and how we, even our conversations, us men seem to be a little detached when women talk about this kind of pain. But Veronica brought up something. I'm not going to skate over it, because Veronica, you brought up that statement just now, and it's going from my head about what did you say again just now?
About the women
Yeah. Oh
helping.
yeah, I got it. I got it about the women. So we're human, and we all got flaws, and we talked about the statistics out here. There's a lot of women that then look, they don't, if some may know your wife, they know the knife, they don't give a damn. They about their self. They want to be pleased. Some want kids, some want this, some love a married man. It's so many reasons out there that women do what they do. So you're
Yeah.
right, Veronica, that if more women decided to stick together as that sisterhood, then there's a lot of things that wouldn't happen, and vice versa if a lot of men stick together.
Mm-hmm.
But we're dealing in a world that is just not a perfect world. And if we think
Right.
this world is going to be a perfect world, it's not a perfect world. It's not going to be a perfect world to the end. So, and if you read the Bible, you realize that the devil is running back and forth amongst the earth. So there's going to be people that is unrighteous, and they're going to do unrighteous things. So it comes down to the individuals.
Yeah, it definitely comes down to the
That's it.
individual.
So
That's it.
imagine my man paying child support, bro.
Ooh,
Taking money out of that house.
yep.
Right.
That's, I mean, there's I don't, like I said, the reason I don't want to say too much because, sweetheart, I'm not trying to beat up on you tonight
Right.
because you is this whole situation is just too much. But you know, so like Mr. Sammy was saying, you love him more than you love yourself. And you're asking us how do you cope with a situation. The more and more I think about it, I wouldn't. There's no way I could cope with this unless we were bonded by something that I just could not break. So I don't think I could do it.
Yeah. Veronica, I come back to Sister Veronica because Veronica said, you 15, you did. But I'm just thinking, Veronica, not justifying this, but again, if they decided to work together, this wife says that I love my husband. He has 3 outside kids on me. I would rather this man be honest with her and live that life and be more responsible with it. And all 3 people are working to contribute to the family, contribute to the kids, and work this. It can work because I've seen people do this. I'm not promoting that. I'm just saying that we always talk about somebody stepping out. Now 3 kids are brought in here. What if this, again, if they would have, there would have been some better communication. I'm not saying she would have agreed to it, but I'll be honest with you. If he'd have brought it to her, excuse my expression, but she's agreeing to it now because she ain't leave him. So if they would have worked together and have been a little bit more responsible, and it might have been one woman and their resources are going in and the children, this, that, and the other, that's a better way of working together than this continue outside nonsense. That's why I keep telling y'all that marriage needs to be reevaluated. Marriage needs to be reevaluated because on the whole, it still works, but it's not working like it used to work in the sense of the numbers and statistics. It's just not.
I wasn't going to bring this situation up, but I feel like I have to further compound this scenario. And this is really going to make you think. I used to work with this dude, and he loved his wife, and they couldn't have kids. Mm-hmm. So he cheated on her and had a baby. Mm. And she accepted that child and accepted what he did. And from my understanding, she accepted it because she could not give him what he wanted. Mm-hmm. So I look at this situation because she never said that she had any children. And I saw somebody in there talking about the comment section too. But when I sit here and look at this guy's situation, I'm like, I married you for better or for worse, but I still want to continue my legacy. Mm-hmm. If you cannot give me a child and this is what I ultimately want, am I wrong for going out having a baby? Because in theory, if you look at the vows, I didn't break them. I might have broke a commandment by thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife and thy man. Mm-hmm. But did I really break a vow?
Yeah, Veronica, you not commit adultery.
Yeah. Well,
that's not a vow. That's a commandment.
I'll be short because Veronica, I'll be short. I think that I just think that he should give her the option. I think the respectful thing is to give her that option and to see if she's willing to stay. If she's willing to stay, because I've been in those kind of conversations before. And if you can't have a child, a person, sometimes your significant other, your wife or whatever may say, you know what? I'll be honest with you. I can't stop your legacy because 25 or 30 years go by and you bring a child in this world and that child does well. And then when we gone, they throw the dirt on us and that child is doing great things. Nobody going to remember all that. They're just not going to remember all that. So I think it's wrong, Victor, for going out there behind her back, knowing that she can't have children. That's a real conversation. And y'all have that conversation. And then if she decides to stay, then that's her decision. And if she decides to go, that's her decision.
That's what Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Let her make that decision if she wants to stay or go. Don't just because I can't have no children think you have the right to go out there and make babies with someone else. No. If you want a child that bad, then don't get involved with me because you already know that I can't have kids. So move
Sometimes you
along.
don't know that till you try, and then come to find out that something is going on, and
But I'm saying, if did she know this? Did like does she have some kind of sickness or something, Victor, where she knew when they first got together
I,
that
I don't know. I don't know the whole situation, but I knew his wife couldn't have any kids.
yeah.
okay, because if that's something that they're going into, like they met and she already knew she can't have kids, then that definitely should have been a conversation.
So
If
I
it's
want.
something that happened within the relationship, in the marriage,
Still a conversation.
it's
So
still a conversation.
Still a conversation.
I want to say this, and Tanya, I'm not attacking you, but this is the comment I saw, and I'm gonna take it there. I love kids, but I'm not helping you raise 3 kids from someone else. I'm sorry. So by you saying that, you're saying that if you meet me and I got 3 kids, even though we're dating, you're not gonna help me take care of my kids.
She's not saying that.
That's exactly what she just said.
No,
That's
she's
what she's
saying
saying.
you have if you have these 3 kids
On
on her
her,
while
her.
you with her.
That's not what she said.
That's what she meant. She's not.
Tanya, clarify that and come
Yes,
back.
please,
Tanya,
Tanya,
clarify that.
because I don't think she's saying that she's going to get involved with someone with kids and she's not going to help him raise those kids. I don't think that's what she's
Yeah,
saying.
she's basically saying,
If
and
you
she's saying
cheated
it, and
on
I hear it
me,
in a black woman's tone. If you think I'm gonna raise 3 kids that you had on me as your wife, you got another damn thing coming.
right?
Well,
You said no, that's different. I'm saying if we're married and you have 3 on me.
I'm
I
not. Yeah,
listen.
that's what
I
I'm saying.
understand, but when you make broad statements like that, you got to understand. When I read a comment, I take it there. So when you say something, say what you mean, and I get it. I'm not jumping on her. I swear to God, I'm not. It's like a little jab or whatever.
Yeah, I got it.
But
I got it.
but what I'm saying is when I hear a statement, I ain't helping nobody take care of no kids that ain't mine. So when you say that, I know what you mean, but that's not what I hear. I hear you're not gonna help me take care of my kids if me and you get together. But I get what she's saying. I get what she's saying.
And we get it because from the perspective of the letter, how it came out today, So,
Yeah, I told you this was a tough.
it was a good letter. I don't think it's that tough. I just
I
think
mean,
it's
it's
some tough
real.
decisions. Got to be. Yeah, it's real, and it's real. And the way she wrote this letter, she like I said, it seems sincere and not woe is me, but just going through the emotions, just telling it honestly. And we all feel for her. We all feel for her because at the end of the day, from her perspective, we don't know, how Victor said, did she push him out there? But it's not about pushing him out there. That's not right. I don't care if you're not happy there, then he should just leave. You understand what I'm saying? But a
That's
lot of
not
men
gonna
ain't just
happen.
going. A lot of men ain't just going to leave. But
No.
to give that young lady the answer, she has to just reevaluate her situation. And I understand you take your vows seriously. But if you want to remain miserable, and then if you have children, what would you teach your children? Would you want your children to grow up and be miserable, even if they marry someone that wasn't treating them right? Would you expect your child, your offspring to do that? Think what your parents would want you to do, even if you took their vows and don't want them to get no divorce. But if this man continues to step on your heart, because you done lost part of you with each child that he has had on you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what you say, you still love him. Yeah, you can still love him.
And see, and that's what we have to. We do have to understand that the kids are watching. You don't think kids paying attention, but they are paying attention what is going on in that household. And you don't want your kids to think it's okay for daddy or for mommy to step out and have other kids outside their
Yeah.
marriage.
Yeah. And sister, one of the things and one thing Victor says and Veronica says, And we all say we're not psychiatrists on here, and we can't tell you what to do. But I just so much things that are happening out here, people harming themselves and whatever. And if this is too hard to cope with, my sister, get professional help out there, because this is not something like that last comment you put up there saying that she is really hurting inside. Yes, the way she wrote this letter, she is hurting real badly on the inside. And sister, if you're watching this tonight, we pray for you. But if you're hurting real bad and we can't empathize with that pain, to really feel what you're going through, and it's getting too bad to cope with, get professional help, because you are so important to yourself and other people. And don't let someone else pull you into quicksand. Don't let this man, your husband, pull you into quicksand to the point that you become worthless to not only to your family but to yourself. Come on,
So,
sir.
Wow.
so please express this to me, ladies. Why you think she there? Why? What? And just give me a scenario. Please write in the comments. Give me a scenario that what scenario would allow you to think that if a man had 3 kids on you, but you still would stay with this man, what factors would have to be involved for you to stay? I need to know that.
Well, I already said what I thought.
What you said.
I I do feel like she loved this man for one.
So love.
Love. She's staying in it. I feel because she's listening to other people that's surrounding her, like her parents, her siblings, or her parents, or whoever is surrounding her could be churchy. And I don't mean it in a bad way, but when you get someone that's deep in the Bible where they like you took your vows, I wouldn't leave that man. That is your husband. Don't let these women from the outside come in and try to take your husband away from you. I'm thinking that she's listening to other people. Yes, she loved her husband. And I do believe that she believes in the Bible, and, not saying that she wants to, and that's what I said too, Kay. Starting over. A lot of people are comfortable in their situation and they don't want to start over and meeting someone new. So there's a lot of different reasons why she and why women stay in bad situations.
But 3 kids. To me, I really think it's sex and money. That's the only 2 things I can see her why she's staying.
No.
Say that again. Say that again.
Sex and money.
I say security. I think security. I'm tired of, when we talk about mental health, we talk about mental health and we throw so many things on that sometimes we throw so many things under it that don't go under it. And I'm tired of us keep using the word love, because a lot of us don't really understand the word love. We use the word love. I think we overuse the word love and misuse the word love. I'm tired of hearing this. I love this person. And love don't make you hurt people.
Love should have brought you home last night.
All right. Love, stop giving me that crap. Y'all ain't gonna give me that. Oh, she really loves him. Yo, I'm not saying she don't love him, but stop this, man. Love don't do this to you.
That's true.
That you become to the point that you hurt, you're blinded, security, or other reasons is keeping you there. But stop giving them damn false excuses about love keeping you there when somebody is. I heard people that get their ass whipped saying, I love him. And he whipped my ass, but I'm staying. That's BS. And we sitting up here thinking, oh, it's love all the time.
So let me tell you something.
I mean, sometimes it is, and sometimes you're right, Fatine.
If I got 10 million in the bank, and I'll
be on my way over to your house, man.
Let me tell you, if I got 10 million in the bank, and I'm making 2-3 million a year, you gonna let me do whatever the hell is I want to do. And I don't think y'all see. And the thing is that we have never been in that situation before, and a lot of women haven't been. You look at the whole what's her name, Chloe and Tristan Thompson situation. He done had 2 or 3 kids on her. But what a lot of people fail to understand is that we sitting here thinking, oh girl, you stupid for staying. But once you in that situation, y'all may do the same thing that she gonna do.
Well, that's interesting. Well, first of all, she got a, that's interesting when you talk about the money, Victor. I thought you was going a different direction. But first of all, if the husband got 10 million in the bank, the first thing is the woman is most likely going to leave because she knows she can leave and get something.
Not
So that's number
necessarily.
one.
Not necessarily, but go ahead.
If you're married and there is something going on, okay, in this case, let's deal with this letter. If he got 10 million in the bank and he had 3 kids, that's infidelity. She got grounds for divorce, she would win. So that's number one. Number
See,
two, no,
before you
don't
go,
stay in
before
that,
you
bro.
wait a minute, before you go any further,
Right.
what rich man is marrying a woman that doesn't have much without some paperwork?
But
But go
you
ahead.
just gave the example. But no, let's get to Chloe and in the Tristan situation. They
Yeah.
both got money. So there's something else going on in that situation. They both have money.
Say it,
So
Vic.
yeah, they both. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Victor. And I didn't want to take it there because I thought people would think I'm joking. But it may be that basketball yin yang. That's what's happening. You understand? You understand? There may be something else going on there. He may be a good father to that daughter because he's always around that daughter. He ain't no ifs, ands, around. He's around his daughter, but he seems that he has a Roman eye. He has a Roman eye. And the Kardashians, let me just say this about the Kardashians without throwing them under the bus. Because how they move is how a lot of men move. A lot of them have had Roman eyes. So they understand that Roman eye situation. So they can tolerate or empathize with that Roman eye a little bit better than some people. So that's how I look at it.
So the thing is we all so Cheryl says, I don't care how much money someone has, I just can't deal with disrespect. We all know that one drug dealer that's with this woman and she cheating and she's still there. And he ain't really got no money. But it's the thing. Money changes y'all perspective and how y'all reason things. And I don't really think that y'all realize how much it does. A man don't even have to have a lot of money for y'all to do some dumb shit.
And take a lot of
shit.
Both said that. Both of y'all getting that bell. Yes.
So I see all these women sitting here saying, oh girl, I wouldn't do this. Yes, you would. Because everybody's got a price. And everybody's price, and this is the thing. Your price may be so high that this person may not be able to achieve that price in order to blatantly disrespect you. But everybody has a price where you're willing to take some form of disrespect. Mm-hmm. And that's true. Maybe your number has never been put in front of you, but everybody got a damn price. And it may be extremely high, but everybody got a price.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I got to add nothing to that. You hit spot on with that. Both of y'all were spot on with both what y'all said, and then Victor coming back on that. Y'all was spot on. I ain't got nothing to add to that.
Not here.
So let me touch on something with Nakia. Let me tell you something, Nakia. If Jeff Bezos came to you and was with you and was dating you and spit in your face, you take it. Yeah, that's the ultimate disrespect. $200 and something billion. You do it. You gonna sit here and you gonna comment and say you wouldn't, because I get it, but you take it.
What you mean take it? Meaning that if he did that the first time, she wouldn't divorce him.
Oh no, I'm not saying in public.
No, I said she wouldn't divorce him if he did what you said and did that the first time. She would not divorce him, and I agree with you because of the money.
And she said she'll spit back. And the
yeah,
kid,
I got that. That's true.
I'm not picking that. I'm not picking on you, but I just saw your comment when you said.
And the kid, I'm right with you.
Yeah,
spit back, bro. Damn right.
And I'm not. Yeah, but what I'm saying is
you got to get me a peppermint here.
When you got $200 billion behind you, there's a lot of shit. There's a lot of disrespect.
We all would.
You're spit on me.
Oh yeah, he is. you might spit back, but I'm just saying. I mean, I ain't saying he will, and I ain't trying to put that, but I'm just saying it's what it is. We all to sit here and say, "Oh, why?" Nah.
Mhm.
Sure, so
So,
have you,
but see, this is the thing. I've been broke before, so I can go back to my regular life. Once you get a taste of that upper echelon life, you don't want to go back.
Mhm.
Once
I
you get
get
a
that.
taste of that, once you get a taste of that filet mignon, you don't want no cube steak, no damn mo. You don't want no bologna, no damn mo. You want to keep eating filet. And I know you chicks out there eating all them crab legs. Y'all ass should be the main ones. Y'all don't want shrimp no more. Y'all want crab legs from now on. Once y'all get that real human hair, y'all don't want that synthetic hair no damn more. So see, it's talking about you been broke. Once you get out that Ultima and move to the Maxima, you know what I'm saying? Y'all don't want to ride in that Ultima no more. Y'all want to be in the Nissan Maxima. Y'all want to be in the Benz, the Range Rovers, and
Mhm.
all them cars. Y'all don't want to go back.
Mhm.
So it's all about public perception after that. You've been seen with Bezos. Yeah, yeah. Bezos like to kill my girl and all this other shit. And then he spit on you. And then you like, you know what? I can't go back to Vic or I can't go back to Fatim or John or whoever. I got to take this shit.
Yeah. Let me just dog. I'm a dog out a man right now. I'm a dog out a brother. You know, because sometimes we a little harsh on the women, and I think it was a bitch move. Sorry, Veronica. It was a bitch move by what's his name? Mary J. Blige husband.
Oh
He
man.
out there doing the crap that he did, and then he realized, enough was enough. Then he gonna try to run and divorce her or however, and then try to get some money and this, that, and other. And he did win some money. He did win some money, but the bitch move that he used at the end of the day. But you see what I'm saying, Victor? It can go both ways. I'm
You're
not
right, bro.
using. I'm not using that as example. All I'm just saying is I don't want us to feel. I don't want the women to feel out there that it's all on them. Men do the same crap too.
You're right. You're right.
Some men
You're right.
deal with women that got money. At the end of the day, they just So
Hmm.
what's his
Hey,
name? I'm gonna look up his name because I
look at
thought.
that. What John said. See, and that's the thing. If you take and I don't wanna dog. I ain't dogging women, but when you take someone who, and this is anybody, when you take someone who haven't experienced anything before and you let them experience something really good, that's what they gonna always want. And the same thing goes for like in the bedroom. The first time, a woman do something strange in the bedroom, you want her to keep doing that. You know what I'm saying? Or keep expanding on that. Women, y'all the same way. First time a man lick you in your tail, you want him to keep doing that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say right. I ain't saying right. I was saying right because I want to get to the point that Cheryl said about Jeff Bezos.
Okay.
It proves back to the point I was saying that a woman gonna go, but so when a man does what he does and he has that money, that woman realized I ain't gotta tolerate this crap, and I'm gonna get an X amount of money, and I can choose now. I become boss lady, and I'm gonna choose and pick who I want to be with now. You understand what I'm saying? And that's right. She did that, and Mary J. Blige's ex-husband is Kendu. I just want to remember that name.
Mhm.
But yeah, but yeah, money talks, position talks. We tolerate a little bit more if people have a status. That's what Victor, you're saying. You using
Yes.
money, but it's a status. We tolerate more if the person has a status because somehow that status you benefit from some of that status. You understand? You don't have to. You go to places. You come in through the back door. When I say the back door, because you ain't got to come on the front door where the line is. You just come through the back door and get seated right there on the days.
Hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? You got the money, so you travel around the world. Today you wake up, you having lunch in LA, and then you going to Dubai to go shop for a party that you come back to tonight in New York. So when you live in that status, you're gonna tolerate more crap. So if your man is out with another woman and you find out, you may hit the ceiling, but you ain't gonna push but so hard because of that status until the point that you push to the point that you can't take it anymore.
Facts.
Right. Cheryl said, I can't do something strange for a piece of change.
Hey, everybody got a price, Cheryl, but I hear what you're saying, sis.
Well, what are your final thoughts on the letter?
Fatigue?
uh I said everything I could say, but just to sum it up, my sister, again, group hug, sis. We respect you for writing this letter. We understand that you take your vows seriously. We understand you are in pain and that you say you love your husband. Now, the question is, do you love your husband more than you love yourself and allow your heart and your dignity and your self-respect to continue to get trampled on? And if you allow that, then you are not putting yourself in the eyes of God as self-preservation. You do it as a couple, but you work together as a couple. This man has stepped out on you not once, not twice, but 3 times and had a baby. That don't mean he didn't step out on you more times. He just has 3 kids, okay? He has 3 kids. Let's look at this for real, sister. So once you get past the emotion part, let's look at this from a common sense part, because God gave us will and gave us a mind to think with. So, sis, you got to reevaluate some things and come to some real hard decisions, but you got to remember you're number one. You're number one. You're number one, sis.
That was good.
To be honest with you, like I said, I'm not equipped to really give an answer. Um, Ma'am, I don't know. All I can say is I don't know why you're still there. I don't know um what I don't know. I I don't want to answer. I don't want to give really a thought, but it's more or less like the team said, we gonna embrace you because you need a hug. And you noticed when Veronica was reading the letter, all the comments was coming through embracing her. So all I'm gonna say is we embrace you. And I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Yeah. And that's good because I feel like when women or even men, when we're going through something that is so tough like this and we're hurting inside, we need people that's going to embrace us. Not people that are going to be like, oh, she's so stupid for staying and she's this and she's that. And we need for people to embrace us and not call us out our name for doing something that we think that we believe is right for us and for our family. You know, um, stepping out, having 3 kids on you, that is a bit much. That's way over the top. But we have to respect the decision that you make, ma'am. Whatever your decision is, we respect that. We just hope and pray that things will get better for you because me personally knows that that is not a good feeling at all. I don't know the part about, involving outside children, but when it comes to being cheated on and, you know, you have to do a lot of praying as I stated earlier. And I don't know what Fatina and Victor said is very good and pretty much sums it up. I wish you nothing but the best. And I pray that you can get over this pain that you're going through. You say you love him and you want your marriage. Pray and ask God if that's the right thing. Because sometimes we think things is the right thing for us to do when God is telling us to get out of things that we should be out of. So just pray for guidance is what I can tell you. Once again, thank you for your letter. thank you for commenting and saying that you love our show and you know the real talk that we have here. And once again, this is exactly why I started Tangy Tea of Life because we needed a platform where we can be real and you know dealing with real life issues that go on a daily basis. Like people go through this type of thing daily. There's someone watching right now, and I'm not talking about the young lady that watched that, you know, wrote the letter, but someone right now is watching the show and they're going through this same thing. It may not be with three, you know, outside kids, but it's outside kids and they're hurting from that. So just pray. I'm praying for this young lady and hoping that things will get better.
Could I
Sanctity
add
of
one
life.
thing? Could I
Mhm.
add one thing?
Yeah.
So I looked up real quick, sister. If you still listening, since you talk about you take your vowels seriously in a sense of God. So I looked up what is the grounds for divorce in Christianity. And the Bible only explicitly allows divorce for two reasons. And one of those reasons, Jesus proceeded to state one exception in which case divorce is permissible: sexual immortality on the part of one's spouse. That is in the context of adultery. Matthew chapter 19, verse 9. If that's going to help you from a religious point of view, sister, then look it up because it's in the Bible. There is a grounds for divorce, so you don't have to look like you're doing something wrong in the eyes of the Lord because your spouse, your husband did something wrong, not once, but twice, but three times.
Right. Well, Tangy Tea of Life is being brought to you by Hip Hop Fitness with Veronica every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. B.A. Gary Gym. We are having our big glow party tomorrow night. Come out, have fun, dance while glowing in the dark. It's going to be a great time. So if you're available tomorrow night, 7 p.m. B.A. Gary Gym in Darlington. And Patricia, I hope to see you there. And,
Bring
huh?
what it's supposed to bring.
$5. Thank you. $5 a class every Wednesday and Saturday. And tomorrow's glow party is no different. It is $5 as well. Thank
And
you,
you can
Victor.
meet me and Fatim there.
Yes, it will be security.
We gonna be in the back.
So say that again, Fatim. Say that again.
We gonna be in the back.
We
We
so you can we can clown on that.
Tanya, I hope to see you there for real, Tanya.
So
I hope.
Fatim, you come.
I want to come, bro. I just got Nakia gonna call me out if I'm late. And one of my guys is down tomorrow. Thomas says that he just was reading the same thing that I just mentioned. And that's good. That's what we want people to do: is to think, to look, to research. That's what we
Yeah,
want you to do. Because
exactly.
she ain't the only one going through that. Trust me, tonight she's
Most
not the only
definitely.
one going through that.
Mm-mm, not at all. But all right, good people. Yeah, and Tanya, come out. Bring your people too. Make sure you bring your sister. Come. What?
That's deodorant.
Tussie. You know what Tussie is?
That's deodorant.
Oh, that's what that is?
Yeah.
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 That's that shit you got to scoop with your hand. That's some
What?
of them
No,
old
I'm
folks.
talking.
They got to roll on now. They got roll on.
They got Roland Tissy?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Yeah, Tanya, bring Michelle with you. Yeah, have a great night. Brother Fatim, thank you so much. We're glad that the game was canceled tonight. Well, not glad. I mean, we're
It's
glad
I'm
that
cool.
glad.
you.
He's glad. It'll be more baseball games for my cuz I'll be at. No
Yeah,
problem.
we was glad that you could sit in with us.
I told you. I said if it rain, said that in my text. If it rain, I'll be here.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Um, my brother Victor, thank you so much.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Appreciate you. Guys, we appreciate you and for you leaving all of your comments. And I'm sorry if I'm like speaking slowly because I'm on a delay on my end.
Are you?
Yeah, like you guys, you can be talking, but then you stop, but your mouth still be moving, but I still hear your sound on
Yeah,
my
that's the
end.
thunderstorms. They didn't mess with somebody Wi-Fi tonight.
Oh
So
yeah. Yeah. All right. But thank y'all so much for watching. We will definitely be going back through your comments. I know a lot of comments been coming through tonight. This has been a great show. Thank you, Stevenson. Thank you so much. What is John final thoughts? I missed it.
Ladies, it's hot. Put plenty of baby powder between your titties.
You know what?
Hey,
Log off right now. I can't
days get hot and heavy.
I can't stand him. Yeah, have a
Woo.
great night. We appreciate each and every one of you. If you would like to be a guest on the show, if you have an email letter, you have a topic suggestion, tangyteaoflife@gmail.com, or you can leave it right here in the Tangy Tea inbox right here on Facebook. And don't forget our YouTube. Head over and give us a thumbs up there as well. Have a great night. God willing, we will check y'all out Thursday for some more Tangy Tea. Good night.
Buenas noches.
I missed